Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the Spin the Rock podcast, a basketball podcast for fans, with fans. I am your host, Angel, and with me today is
Eugene,
Tyler,
and Vaughn.
So before we start, the first episode is mostly just gonna be get to know episode. Get an idea of who we are as fans, but also like get to know us as people too. We've all known each other since middle school. We've all went to the same high school, but we also all live in different states. So we also haven't seen each other in years. Like none of us have seen each other in years.
hella long.
I mean, I haven't seen Eugene and Tyler since we graduated high school, and I haven't seen Vaughn since the start, like right before the pandemic started. So it's been a while.
I haven't seen Tyler Eugene since sophomore.
Yeah.
Because I moved that year.
Why don't we just get into our first topic, which is who we are in our relationship to basketball.
All right. So I didn't watch until like middle school, and I didn't even have a favorite team until like 2016, I'd say. Because when I got into basketball, the first time I really picked one up was play knockout in the neighborhood.
Knockout was that game.
Yeah,
Facts.
for real. And I was like low-key good for someone who hasn't even touched the basketball. And it kind of just like went from there. Because then when I started watching, I became a Carmelo Anthony fan, but I wasn't a Knicks fan because they were terrible to watch. I was just
Hey, Melo's a
purely
bucket, though.
Carmelo fan.
Facts.
Melo was insane
That
on the Knicks.
60-point game went crazy. And then so I would kind of just watch a Carmelo game every now and then. I wasn't really dedicated to NBA at that point. But when I moved, I think it was 2016 when I moved, I think Isaiah Thomas in those playoffs went to a game 7 against the Bulls, I think, and that's when I started becoming an Isaiah Thomas fan, and then a Boston Celtics fan. Because Isaiah Thomas, round 2, last pick, I think that's crazy what a guy like him can accomplish. So I kind of just latched onto him.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas low-key got done dirty by the NBA.
Oh,
high key, bro.
key.
High key.
Danny Ainge, bro. I'm telling
Played
you.
in the playoffs, injured
What a
hip.
bad hook.
Your sister dies during those play through them, and they trade you the next season.
Nah, like, and we ain't never seen him since then, bro. Like,
True. He was on
Oh, they did him so dirty.
He journeyed,
And then-
bro. He journeyed for real.
He really did. And then he had that summer where he was balling out in every league. And then no team played him the next season. Everyone was like,
Super
IT
G League.
comeback.
yep, he was hooping G League, Drew League, I think Jamal Crawford's league. Like, bro,
Crossover.
that boy was hooping.
It's just crazy. I was doing that at 5'9". So like to
Yeah.
think that.
I know.
Bro, make him 6 feet. He go.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Literally,
He go.
literally, like I'll go next. So I'd say with basketball, I've always watched it since a kid. Mainly because my dad would always have it on the TV, and I remember one of the first players that I've seen, like just on the TV, a young LeBron James, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, just like around 06, I would say. It was like that year that that Wade won his first one with Shaq and older Gary Payton and whatnot. I used to watch it quite a bit, and then just I'd say like the middle school years, I didn't watch it as much, but toward the end of it, I got back into it, like more like fanatic, and then ever since then, I've really been keeping up with it. And I played basketball when I was younger, but it wasn't something like I had like a dream of playing. It was always also fun, just like Vaughn said, playing knockout or just playing pickup at the gym, just having fun with it. But I'd say that's pretty much it for me. But I think the team that I really got attached to was the Bulls because one, my dad's from Chicago, and just watching a young Derrick Rose just fly through the air, it's just real unfortunate after what happened, but it's still fun to. It was still like something I feel like you had to be in the moment to really witness how good he was. Because hearing a lot of these takes that people say today is just like it's better if you like were there to really see it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like highlights can only show you so much, but yeah, I'd say
sure.
that's really good. But,
No.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And it's
Right,
still
'cause when
like his comeback
Derrick
story
Rose-
too, bro. It's like it's just
amazing.
True.
The 50
Very
piece on the
true.
Timberwolves.
Bro, why do that's already two players who had such a sad career.
Yeah,
we're sick, like 7 minutes in, and we already brought up two players that everybody like feels so bad for.
and they stem from injuries, but at least like they're like people's champs in my.
Yeah, they really
Everyone's always
are.
Right.
rooting for them. They're like the people's champs.
When in the Knicks, winning the playoffs, and with like Derrick Rose on that team and Holiday, right? No, Randall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like everybody was like, D Rose come back, and then the next season was not the same at all.
Well, it's the Knicks. Like, what can you really expect from the Knicks?
And I
True.
love Derrick Rose, as y'all know, but my hate for the Knicks is greater than that. No, I'm just playing. But just the Bulls Knicks rivalry, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta ride with my team. But he I remember when he got traded there the first time, he was averaging like 18, but everyone thought he was washed still. So I was like,
Yeah.
like he was doing decent, but then, fortunately he got injured again, like during that season, I believe, like toward the end. And they weren't making the playoffs, and even though everybody thought they were going to, because it was him, Carmelo, and Porzingis. So, but it happens.
Yeah, man, Porzingis too.
Injuries, bro. That man blew out his knee.
Right, but I always grew up watching basketball. Grew up playing baseball, basketball. The person that I watched when I lived out here was Kobe. That was like one of the first players that I attached to. Yeah, I just wanted to be him. Literally.
Who didn't?
I wanted the ball in my hands. I wanted to shoot. I wanted to get buckets. Yeah, favorite team's the Lakers. Also because I lived out here for like half of my life, basically. So, yeah. That's about me.
We really thought Eugene was going to be Kobe in high school and middle school. We really did. That man was balling.
I wish I was Kobe, bruh.
No,
I
you were.
wish I
You
was
were.
him.
No,
But,
I remember.
that's for sure, bro.
I remember those Kubi versus Kadena high school games. Oh
Bro.
my! That one play I'll always remember was you taking a charge, and you getting like so hyped for it. You like that charge was insane though. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good play. That was a
You're
good.
talking about the fast break one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
that was the
That,
same.
bro, I was so lit. That was a good
Because
play. It was like everybody was just watching, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna block him. I'm just gonna take this charge. I got right in front of him. Hey! I was so lit.
That game was crazy because I remember that was also the same game. I know you hit a very crucial three and some crucial free throws, and that's when Cody had that heave, like almost half court. It seemed like from where I was standing, he hit that desperate three,
Right.
all net.
Oh my god,
Game
bro!
was
that
so crazy.
bro.
That was a crazy game.
You want to know the craziest part about that game, bro?
Yeah,
That was on my mom's birthday.
Man,
Hey,
bro,
that's
Like, bruh. Like, after the game, I was like, that is my birthday gift to you. The win. Because, like, we came back from, like 20, 25, something like that.
we were getting dicked
yeah,
on.
y'all were getting dubbed.
Bro,
Y'all were getting dubbed. I remember that.
like, at half, we were almost down 30. I was like, what is happening?
Bro,
But
that
yeah,
it was the mini Steph Curry they had on that team, bro. They had a kid that looked just like Steph Curry, and he was hitting every three, bro.
Nah, that boy Lonzo, bro. He was fire. He was fire. He was a good player.
Should have been a 30 for 30, for sure. That game should have been a 30 for 30.
That'd be a fire 30 for 30, bro. That'd be fire.
But
Yeah.
for me, I can't play basketball for shit. I am so ass. I'm 5'9", like 250. I'm Mexican, like stereotypical construction worker build. But I still love the game. Like I think I got into it like my freshman year of high school, and only because I saw 2K gameplay. And so like seeing like that was I think that was the year when 2K started doing like athletes looking really good. Like that was the year when like
Pause.
hey, pause. Those sweat drops, bro. You remember the trailer where they were like, now you can see the athlete sweat, and it like zoomed on like the virtual LeBron.
Yeah.
That shit was like blowing. That shit blew people's minds. Now we look back and that 2K looked awful. I'm not gonna lie. But at the time, everyone thought it looked so good. That's when I got into basketball. At the time, it was mostly like just like me watching during lunch, and it eventually grew into what I am now, which is basically I get like heavy into it the first few games like of the season, but like 82 games, I fall off. I'm not gonna lie. I fall off. I watch the All-Star game, and then I fall off again and watch the playoffs because I cannot watch all 82 games, especially when like 90% of the time, some games go exactly the same. Like
Right.
you play like the same teams like once or twice, those games are exciting. But the team games that you play a team like 4 times, you're like, God damn, I gotta see this again. Like I can't do that, bro. That's why I'm not a
because I'm in the same boat too. Like y'all know, I'm like a diehard just like basketball fan, and it's like, when the season starts, it's like, yeah, like I'm watching every game, like I'm streaming every game, and then it's like, as the season progresses, it's just kind of like, eh. But All Star weekend and playoffs, like you said, Angel, are probably like what I watch the most.
yeah, no for sure. Cause like playoffs is I think playoffs are so exciting now because it's no longer like so obvious who's gonna win. Cause
Right.
let's like every team is like good now. Almost. Let me take that back. Almost every team is good now.
Well, when you get to like the second round, like you get to the good teams,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you get the ones, the fours, maybe a good 5 seed or like a decent 5 seed.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. So our next topic, and it's our hot seat topic, which for the off season there will be one topic where Tyler, Eugene, and Vaughn have no idea what it is. It's just off the cuff. What do you think? You can't hesitate, and that is a player and why.
does it have to be on our favorite team?
It does not have to be. It could be all time. It could be current. It could be on your team. It could be whatever you want.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
gonna be
that
tough.
a little bit more deeper. I was thinking
That's gonna be
current. I mean, I already said Kobe, but like if I was to think of another one, it'd probably be like off top. It'd probably be Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp.
Yeah,
Wow,
Dog.
that's a good one. I don't
yeah.
think a lot of people would say that too.
It's an underrated
That
choice.
is one reason I said it, but yeah, just like bro, like looking at his highlights and stuff, it's just like he he was built like he was brawling. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have been able to jump as high as he could, or at least it seemed like he was more built than maybe he was. I don't know, but he just seemed like a big dude.
Oh yeah. Also, Seattle Supersonics, like
Right, Gary Payton
yeah,
and
that
Sean
team.
Kemp, bro. Like
Those unis too.
facts.
Fire.
No, yeah, but that's for me, Sean Kemp off rip.
All right. I'll go. I did already say Isaiah Thomas. I think that 2016 season, uh, he was known as Mr. Fourth Quarter. He was clutch as hell. I think that will always be a special place in my heart. If we're talking about today, though, I gotta say Jason Tatum just because he's on my team. He's a star player. Uh, but one I low key have always been like whenever I hear his name, I'm like yes, like he doesn't get talked about enough. It's Dennis Rodman. I low key wanted to be him when I played on my basketball team. I played 1 year, and I low key wanted to be the Dennis Rodman on my team. Like, shit of game, all right, but what a fucking monster! What a just entertaining player he is. Like on court, like this man married himself. He became friends with Kim Jong Un. Like, how could you not love this man? He broke his dick for crying out loud. Like that's one in NBA history that I always just like, yeah, that's him.
The best part about Rodman though is that he always was good at rebounding though. There's a lot of players who like fall off at some point in their career, but Rodman on the fucking rebounds, he stayed goated. He
Right.
stayed averaging doubles. Like he stayed in the double digits for rebounds, even on the Mavs.
Right.
Man's was insane.
Mavs, Spurs, all of them, bro.
Mythological. Like, he was a janitor. He was a janitor before he played college ball, where he hit like 8 inches when he was like 21 or something like that.
Bro,
Yeah.
I wish, bro. I wish.
Hey, at least
I'm
you're
5'11",
6 foot,
I'll
bro.
get some more height.
Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, all these NBA players swear they hit, like, a growth spurt of 5+ more inches, bro. Like,
But
let
they
me
do.
that, bro.
It's what crazy is because like they say that, and then like you like look into it, and they do.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, I was JV, and then I hit 6'7", and now I'm varsity D1 committed. Meanwhile,
Like, bro,
there's
it's
people
crazy.
there's people who never get that growth spurt. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just got tall people out here walking the streets for no reason. Like, give me your height, bruh. Like, give me your height, bruh. But whatever.
I'd say for me though, like as far as like I know I said Derrick Rose for like the all time, like that young Derrick Rose. But as far as today's, just especially, it's really just between two players. I know it's for me, it's just kind of hard to break it down. One, because more so he's on my team, but I'll say Zach LaVine. Just like he stigma of being just a dunker because he's improved statistically every single year, especially with his shooting, which is like it seems like he can shoot like deeper every time. Like I see this man like after every season, but and he still got his athleticism after having a bad injury before getting and being involved in the Jimmy Butler trade. And a lot of people didn't think like he was gonna step up and be the guy for the team because everybody was saying like I believe he was actually the third. If I'm not wrong, because I believe it was Carlton Towns, Wiggins, and then him. If you can correct me on that.
Yeah, you're right.
'Cause I remember.
Yeah.
But just saying like what he's done in his career, being only I want to say 27 years old, it's good to see. And a lot of people didn't think he could be an all-star. And it's good to see people proving people wrong.
oh yeah, for sure. I remember when the first time he resigned, people were like, "Oh, he's just a dunker. Like, why are the Bulls putting so much like into him?" Like, and then he popped off. He has been going off since.
I'm gonna
Probably
be real.
since
I
that
thought
trade, like,
For real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I dead thought that he was finna leave when we had like those really bad seasons, like before they drafted Kobe White, before they traded for Vucevic, and then I know our front office, like I thought they were gonna run him out of the city until they fired Garpax, and they actually, funny enough, the general manager that we have now, he built the Nuggets team that Jamal Murray and Jokic, he helped draft them, and when they got honestly the last offseason or the offseason for last season before The only person I really wanted was Lonzo. So getting Alex Caruso and DeMar DeRozan was just a huge plus for me because I didn't think we'd ever land them.
We'll save
And
that
I
for
don't
the
know why
team
the Lakers
talk,
let that
because I know
man
you.
walk.
I know
Yeah, I'm
Eugene's
sorry,
heated right
Eugene,
now.
but I don't know why they let Caruso walk.
We'll
I'm
we'll
about to
save
go
that.
Super Saiyan right now, bruh.
We'll save that for the team talk, because I know Eugene's heated about
Yeah.
Caruso.
Bruh,
Yeah,
fucking pissed.
but
For-
just like I said, like I said, just having them was a bonus. But as far as favorite players today, it's really him, and then just seeing like how far Giannis has come in his young career is great to see too. So even though
Oh yeah,
his rivals with Chicago, but that's it for me.
Giannis has his own
Like,
Disney
the
Plus show
coldest
now,
thing-
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
facts.
just gonna touch that.
The coolest thing I ever seen Zach LaVine do is when Boylan was the coach. Not a good coach, by the way.
Terrible, dude. Oh my goodness, tell me about it. I thought Hoiberg was bad.
But,
Oh my goodness, dude.
But when Zach LaVine got 40 points, right? And that coach is barking at him. He's like,
I know
got
exactly what you're talking
fucking points. He brings that ball up near half court, drains that three.
Banked it, bro. I remember
was the
that.
funniest thing I've seen that man do.
Yeah, Zach LaVine has become a animal, low key. For me, my favorite player right now, I'm a Nuggets fan, which is basically being in pain 24/7, because you know you're never gonna make it to the finals. But right now, I gotta say, Jamal Murray is my favorite. Jokic obviously is the easy answer, but I feel like, as we saw the past season, Murray brings a lot to the table. I mean, he does so much for the Nuggets, and I don't know, just the way he plays is also very different. He's kind of like almost he's almost a slasher, but like also he can shoot a three. So he has the ability to do those stupid like acrobatic dunks that Irving does, but not as crazy. But he also has that like range. So where if Jokic is getting three teams in the paint, he can dish it out and Murray won't brick it. Unlike if he gives it to anyone else on the Nuggets, let's be honest, they're not making an open three.
I'm gonna be real. I thought you were about to name drop Aaron Gordon after.
I hate Aaron. Okay,
The playoffs.
I hate Aaron Gordon, bro. We got rid of Gary Harris for Aaron Gordon, and I was heated because Aaron Gordon is what people thought Zach LaVine was gonna be.
Bro, I honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I was on that boat because like I felt like Gary Harris didn't really do anything for y'all, especially because he was hurt, like, you know, a lot of the time. But then, like, bro, he completely sold in the playoffs. But he didn't do that bad in the regular season.
Yeah, no, okay. He was doing okay in the regular season, like, but in the playoffs, him and fucking Michael Porter Jr., it was like they never played basketball before in their lives. They were doing things. They like were completely different players. They were like,
but like you got to think about it though, bro. That was their first time in the playoffs. You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah, years
Right.
of the Magic does that to someone. That's why Shaq had to get out of there.
Yo, I'm gonna be real. I think Michael Porter Jr. might have God on his side as far as playing only 2 games in college and still being a first-round pick to
Oh my
being
God.
able to secure a $200 million contract after being hurt for a little bit. I don't know if he has or his.
That
I
man
don't
does
know
human
what's going on,
sacrifices for
but
sure.
Probably, like I wouldn't doubt it. But he has something on his side, bro. Like,
Nah,
I swear to God.
if MPJ does human sacrifices, what does Zion do, bro?
Hey, hold on.
Okay.
That man
Exorcism,
sold
bro.
his soul, bro.
Let's not get on Zion.
Bro, Zion, my boy, bro. But like, he only played like 20 games in like 2 years, bro.
But hey, in those games he was going off. I think he had an All-Star appearance though before he got injured again. Didn't he?
He did good.
Before Ja
Every
Morant,
time
right?
he played,
He
he
did.
did good.
I think he did.
Yeah,
Every
that's
time
No, because
he
that
played, he
bro,
did good.
that first I watched that first game he played, bro. Like his first like NBA debut game, he drained like 5 threes. I was like,
and he was on restriction. I remember that.
Yeah, he was on minutes restriction. I was like, I was sitting there amazed. I was like, what? Why can't we get this? Like, all you gotta do is stay healthy.
Exactly.
But
It's that gumbo.
can't even stay healthy.
So
Vaughn
that's
said
gumbo.
it's that gumbo.
Hey, gumbo hit. I used to live in Louisiana, so I know.
Bro, yeah, gumbo fire, bro.
I used to live in Louisiana.
I can't blame him, bro. I'd be fat.
Hey, but I was
think
thinking though, like as far as like their him and Jaw's rookie season, like seeing him play like fully healthy, like he probably would have knocked Jaw off for the rookie of the year. Don't get me wrong, Jaw was playing amazing as well, but I think he probably could have edged him for it if he stayed healthy the entire season. That is, Jaw
Right.
did
Oh,
deserve
for
it,
sure.
though, in the circumstance given.
If he started or if he finished the way he started and like, played, through the season, I probably would agree with you too. Cause like when did he start playing? Like, was it just before or
Mid-season.
just after All-Star break?
I want to say it was after because I remember he tore his meniscus and they said he had to sit out like the first half of the season. So I want to say it was either a little
Right.
bit before or like right after because I know he
Right.
tore his meniscus and then he had to sit out a good chunk of time.
Right. Cause like even like in that kind of conversation too, like that brings up like Anthony Edwards and the Melo conversation. Like,
Yeah,
who should have won that? I think personally Ant should have won because he was healthy
all year.
more than
More.
more than Melo. Melo was hurt like half that year,
Yeah, he
So it's
fractured
just
his hand. He had
hand, wrist,
something bad.
something like
Something
that.
bad.
Yeah, he was hurt for like the whole second half of the season, but I don't know. That's a story for another day.
I get what you mean though, for sure.
I think, just real quick before we move on, my favorite player off the Nuggets, and I want to also hear what you guys have to think because I think he plays for the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan, that man is proving people wrong every single day he gets out of bed. They said the mid range is dead. He said, "Go fuck yourself."
Mid range will never be dead. It's just
It will never die.
underappreciated, bruh. It's just very underappreciated because it's not dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always gonna be there. Especially with the 3-point line sitting there or whatever. But it's always gonna be there. He's fired up.
I could go like on about like because I remember he had that little stint where and I'm not even like I'm trying to like throw my bias aside. Like when he was going off, then he had those 2 back-to-back game winners. I was like, he might be moving up in the MVP talk because he was going stupid for that little bit, and then things happened. If we're gonna do team talk, I can save it for then. But just basically like he had a little burst of like just MVP like level play. Like it was crazy to see, and just watching him just use the mid range was crazy. Just like how he's like
it's kind of insane.
he's carrying it, the art of it. Like he's pure mid range at this point.
Especially after coming from the Spurs, where people were like really just shitting on him all the time.
Right.
Saying he was really disappointing and stuff.
Yeah, because like on the Raptors, he was insane. That was like when he was like athletic, and he was doing like those crazy posters and getting way up there.
Mm.
And that's when like I remember when he got traded from the Raptors, how mad people who liked Toronto were. Because they really.
I would have been too.
Facts.
I was mad for them.
Same, man.
I'm like, how do you trade your
DeRozan.
star player? Like, literally. But hey, they knew what they was doing because they won a chip. So
True.
Kawhi's the greatest 1-year rental of all time, bro. I swear to God, the greatest rental of all time.
that was very goated on
like-
Kawhi's part.
Right, DeMar is like the textbook regular season player. He has those poster dunks. He can be clutch. He was a top 5 candidate in MVP voting last year at some point. I don't know if he finished there, but it was deserved. Obviously, their team success was not entirely on their fault, injuries and all that. But I do want to see him succeed in the playoffs more.
Oh yeah.
When LeBron was there and DeMar was in Toronto. It was just like embarrassing how those performances would go. They call him what was it? The Raptors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but but now that LeBron's gone, he's got the solid Bulls team. I hope everyone stays healthy and they actually go far in the playoffs. Because if not, I think the underselling in the past is probably going to haunt him going forward.
Was it in the playoffs when he did the small taunt? You know what I'm talking about?
No, that was in the regular season because Patrick Beverly was trying to do it to him.
Oh, okay.
And then DeMar hit him right. He got his get back like the next possession.
Crazy. That celebration was insane.
He just saved the baby.
Yeah,
he's a toddler.
That shit was insane. Okay, so I know we briefly talked about it, but I just want to talk about our teams because we all have a different favorite team, and it's low key spans from dynasties, and then all dynasties.
Never won a championship.
Okay, okay, Vaughn. to never won a championship. So I guess I'll go start. For me, like I said while I was talking about Jamal Murray, being a Nuggets fan is pain because I feel like we make so many weird decisions that if we weren't winning games, people would be mad. Like getting rid of Bol, playing any rookie ever, getting rid of Gary Harris, which I know in hindsight was kind of a good idea, but Aaron Gordon is not any better. To just recently, where the only thing we did was get Caldwell Pope for Will Barton. That's the only move we made this offseason, with some like minor ones here and there. Of course, we re-signed Jokic, but like the Nuggets would probably get burned. Like Pepsi Center would get burned down if we didn't re-sign Jokic. But it's like every year we make dumb decisions, but because we make it to the playoffs, we get excused. I think our biggest opportunity was against the Lakers in the bubble because that felt like our year. I'm not gonna lie, 3-1 twice. I mean,
No, I'm not gonna lie, y'all deserve that shit.
Yeah, no, but obviously it's LeBron. Like, come on.
You're right.
There's nothing you could do against that man.
Yeah, and like AD was, he was kind of going hard because he ain't never been that far. So, but
Yeah.
y'all did deserve that shit.
We did. Like we would have fucking dismantled the Heat. I think they had maybe Bam would have stopped Jokic a little, but I feel like Jokic and Jamal were just connecting like no other that season.
Mm-hmm.
And like I love Jimmy, he played for my team and whatnot, but it was just him. Like it was just him mostly. Like you got Tyler who was like he was doing like but
the white goat.
Yeah, and then but it was just really Jimmy like pulling the team together. He was really their glue that year. Like he was willing them most of those games.
Yeah, I think he had like 40, like 3 games or something, right?
I believe a 40-point triple-double with one of them.
Yeah, like he was going crazy.
Bam was hurt. Dragic was out that whole finals.
He was hurt.
Slow offense there.
Yeah, true.
And then Tyler and Duncan weren't like just getting buckets because their only job at that time was to shoot, and it's like they just weren't making nothing.
But let's go over to Vaughn because his team just put up a good fight against.
Oh, the Boston Celtics. Even just making the finals feels like a win in a way. Those Isaiah Thomas teams, as much as I love that man, there was never really a shot at going into the finals and winning it all. Never really an attempt. And then Jason Tatum, rookie year, I thought we were going to the finals that year, and then LeBron happened. Like, LeBron carried his team. Minutes away from making the finals. And then Terry Rozier went 0 for 9 from three-point range. Whatever. And then the bubble. We get the Eastern Conference Finals again, and we just shit the bed. The Heat just all they did was play zone defense, and somehow we couldn't figure out a way to score, and we lost. And then finally, after Kyrie Irving, after Gordon Hayward, after Kemba Walker,
Kemba, Jesus.
finally, we make it to the finals. And I'm excited because we need a playmaking point guard. From Brogdon.
That was a fire pickup. That was a fire pickup for y'all.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Part of the 50, 90, 40 club. So very efficient. And Danilo Gallinari, a stretch four. You
Also
could always
fire.
use more shooting.
Yeah,
So-
Italian stallion, that man. That man was insane from the three. That man was insane from the three on the Clippers.
Very much looking forward to next season. My number one worry is injuries. Just whatever comes our way. Gordon Hayward gets injured. First game he plays, never was the same.
Yeah.
Kemba, his knee is crapping out on him. I think right now we're young. If we stay healthy, we're going again. And the Warriors just got worse. They lost so many good role players. I think we can take it next season.
I feel like it was bound to happen for the Celtics. Every year they come so close. And LeBron left, and it was like, oh my God, the Celtics might actually do it. And then the Heat happened. But yeah, I feel like the last season was definitely a long time coming. Jason Tatum was
It's
going
crazy.
off.
Last regular season, at one point, we were the 11th seed. We just weren't figuring it out. And I don't know, flipped a switch, went on a win streak, swapped some players, got rid of Schroeder, Josh Richardson, got Derek White, and it was just a complete turnaround. I've never seen anything like that. So I think that just makes it a little more special getting the finals that way.
That's a fact.
No, yeah, y'all definitely. I think y'all definitely could go far. I didn't think it was Jason Tatum's year this year per se, but definitely, even if not next year, the year after. Like, he's winning a chip within the next 3 years.
Oh,
There's
for
no way
sure.
he doesn't.
Also, your defense
I'll-
just keeps getting better every year.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, Robert Williams.
One thing I will say though, I thought it was crazy how throughout like the beginning of the postseason, like when they knocked off Brooklyn, they knocked off Milwaukee. Everybody was saying, "Oh, Jason Tatum, like he's a dog." And then as soon as they lost, at least from what I've seen, it seems like a lot of people just turned on him because he played poorly.
Yeah.
Which you don't get me wrong, he played bad as much as he
Yeah.
played, but you got to think about it, he's only
He was
24
playing a
years old. He's
dynasty, though. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, and Steph Curry, Clay, they've all been here before. It's his first time. I don't know exactly what. I don't know if he felt like he had to play hero ball or what the case might have been. But I think he's got upside still, even though he's been all-star and just he's got time. Like y'all said, I think he'll be able to win one soon.
Like, we shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, every series, Nets laughing at Celtics fans. Oh, Bucks? LOL. Those are the past championship team right there. The Heat, this complete Heat team? LOL. Celtics fans? L. And then made it to the final. So I think there's good upside here, for real.
Why don't we throw over to Tyler, who has also felt the pain of his team being so close,
Man,
but never
let me tell you.
really getting there.
Man, let me tell y'all something, bro. But hey, no lie though. Like, I remember exactly where I was, just reading about all those made, and I had nothing but even people who weren't Bulls fans were like, oh, they could do some damage for real. Just like I said, when I believe they announced Lonzo signing first, so I was like, okay, that was honestly like my offseason, like perfect offseason, because I didn't think for a second that we'd get DeMar or Caruso. Like, it was already surprising that we had got Vucevic at the time, but picking up Caruso and DeMar, and I'm like, fully healthy team, they could go dumb. And then I watched, I believe, their first preseason game, and it seemed like they were all like just building chemistry. Just having someone like Lonzo pass first, floor general, and I believe he's a good defender. And then you got DeMar, who can score like when need be, and then being Zach, it was just it just was like a dream come true for me. But also getting role players like Derrick Jones Jr. Who else did we get? Javonte Green. He was a part of the Celtics trade, from what I remember. I think what really like derailed the season in the first place was because everybody caught COVID at one point, and then so we never really got to see everybody play all together fully healthy. And then I remember Lonzo, he hurt, he had to get surgery, and I believe he was out the rest of the season. And then Caruso getting injured by,
Oh my god.
none other than the greatest player of all time, Grayson Allen. He was our focal point for defense. You know what I'm saying? Alex Caruso was really the focal point of defense. He improved our defense, and then after that, it's just the defense shot down. And like I believe we were the top team in the East at one point.
Y'all were top seed for most of the first half of the season.
Yeah,
and
y'all
then
were killing
injuries
it.
and COVID happened, and then just
I remember when the Grayson Allen thing happened. Everyone was heated. You didn't have to be a Bulls fan.
Right.
You were pissed. Because, like, watching the clip,
Yeah.
you can tell that it was just, like, Grayson Allen was just being so stupid about what he did.
And then did you see him laughing on the bench? He covered his face with a towel, but you could, like, visibly see that he was, like, smirking or some sort. That, like, made it even worse because, like, I ain't gonna lie. I thought, college, we all know how he was in college. And I was like, maybe he'll, like, change it up in the NBA. He probably won't be as, like, I guess physical is for lack of a better term. But that obviously – that was never gonna happen, but but just I feel like this team, like healthy, could do some damage. Like I wasn't expecting like a championship off the top, but I was hoping for a deep playoff run, and it just like when they were doing the playoffs matchups, the one team I was hoping we'd avoid, we ended up getting, so that wasn't fun. We got the Milwaukee Bucks, and then DeMar had that game where he shot 6 for 27 or something crazy like that.
Crazy.
And that was Zach's first time in the playoffs too. So, and he was forcing a lot of shots when he didn't need to. And Vucevic, for some reason, didn't know what a rebound was. So that was fun. But other than that, like, I think fully healthy, they can do some damage. But yeah, it's tough being a Bulls fan.
Fully healthy, I think y'all would have been like at least top 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like that also kind of contributed to like DeMar's like
his defense and stuff. Like, do you think his offense outweighs his defensive liabilities?
I mean, I know he's more known. Like he likes to, like I know especially this season, it seems like he wants to be a spot up shooter. Like at least every time I've been able to catch like Bulls games with him, but like just spot up shooting, and then sometimes he'll hustle on the defensive end, but sometimes it just seems like he doesn't he doesn't care enough. At least from what I've seen, from what I'm getting. But I'm hoping that he could like clean that up, and then he'll be good. He just needs to get a little more physical, I feel like, and just hustle more. And I thought Tristan Thompson was going to be kind of our answer, but they didn't play him too much. But we just picked up Andre Drummond actually, so hopefully he can be the rebounding machine that we need. But he's been playing kind of, so I'm iffy on that,
Andre Drummond has been going through it lately.
Bro, it's still fuck Andre Drummond, bro. Bro, he didn't do nothing on the Lakers,
I just thought about it. Yeah.
He didn't do nothing.
And with that, why don't we talk about our local Lakers fan, Eugene?
Yeah.
Just a little bit of backstory. I've been like a diehard Lakers fan for my entire life, basically. I've seen Kobe, saw him retire, saw his last game. Then we went through them Jody Meek years, and then Jordan Clarkson years, and then Robert Sacre years, and then Jordan Hill years. And then we picked up LeBron, so then I was like, okay, we have some hope. LeBron on your team is a good sight. Then we picked up AD, and I got even more happy. And I was like, yay! And then Corona happened. We won. Then AD decides, let me play like a guard. Let me play out of position. Let me play like a shooting guard. Let me and also let me wear low top shoes.
Let me be made of
Oh,
glass.
shoot.
Oh God.
And
Bro,
then
AD makes me so mad, bro. He makes me so mad.
and
Cause
then
like,
letting Caruso walk.
bro, Caruso.
I'm sorry, bro.
Cause I feel like a lot of Lakers fans knew that Caruso was a good player, but like regular, like if you weren't a Lakers fan, you probably didn't know how good Caruso was.
Bro,
The bald eagle.
He
I can't even explain like what he did for us, bro. He
like
like Tyler said, he sets the tone for their defense. That's what he did on the Lakers, but for the bench players. I think he averaged like 2 or 3 steals per game and then maybe like a block per game. He was so good for us coming off the bench. And no, yeah, we just let him walk. We didn't even
Yeah, you
trade
let him
him.
yep.
walk.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You let him walk.
That makes me even more mad because we didn't get anything for him. If we got something for him, I wouldn't be as mad. But we didn't do anything with him. Like, and then okay, so then, was Andre Drummond a trade or a sign?
Ooh, I believe he was assigned, if I'm not wrong, because
I feel
wait,
like he was a sign too because we signed DeAndre Jordan and Drummond. I feel
yeah,
like
sure
Andre
did.
Drummond was a sign. But
Yeah, DeAndre
regardless,
was on a minimum. And then,
we got Andre Drummond, right? And we had DeAndre Jordan and we had Dwight Howard. On paper, that's fire. That you can rotate them however you want. You can place them on the court however you want.
That's a 2K my team right there.
Literally.
exactly.
LeBron, AD still play like power forward. Like, bro, that's 5 7-footers on your team. Tell me why we only played Anthony Davis. I think we played Andre Drummond for like 5 games. We didn't touch DeAndre Jordan. And then Dwight Howard, I think we rotated Dwight Howard with Anthony Davis.
So it sounds like, Eugene, that you're one of the few reasonable Lakers fans. You're not one of the Laker fans who goes on Twitter and photoshops every free agent in a Lakers jersey. You sound very reasonable.
I am very reasonable. Now, I'm on Lakers Twitter, so like, I've seen Bradley Beal in a Laker jersey. I've seen Kyrie in a Laker jersey. I'm like, well, it really could happen because we got some cap, but it's really not gonna happen. And people still kind of trying to like hype up Kyrie because he bought a house in LA. He attended a Sparks WNBA game, so it's like, I don't know. Just because he's out here don't mean he want to be out here. But I don't know. It's just I don't know what Rob and Jeannie doing, bro. They just doing
And
whatever at this
and
point.
how did you feel about the season performance? Because before the season, everyone was saying super team, super team, super team, and then
Oh,
bottom of
I
the
forgot.
seeds.
I forgot about Russell Westbrook. How did I forget about Russell Westbrook?
Oh Lord, man.
Do I even want to talk about him, bro?
Just let it out, dog.
Every NBA fan knows how he performed. You know what I'm saying?
Completely
He
different player.
just break, 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 break. Sounded just like that. Break, boom, boom. It's just like, so obviously, preseason, before the season, we thought it was a good signing. Like everyone thought it was a good signing.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch like the preseason games or whatever. But it seemed like he was doing like kind of all right. Like he was, it's preseason, getting warmed up. But then, as the season goes on, like I'm expecting like at least 20 out of you, 25, like you got LeBron
Hella.
first option, you got AD second option. You supposed to be third option, bruh. You not
Hella
even looking like
assists.
an option. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, bro. He hitting the side of the backboard, the top of the backboard. Like, come on, bro. You can't be hooping like this. But, and then you
And
said season performance. I mean, obviously it was a letdown. Obviously we could have done better. It's just, I think they did well in signing younger players. Like we signed Lonnie Walker, Damian Jones. Uh, I'm mad we didn't re-sign Malik Monk. He would have been fire. I
oh
think
yeah,
we re-signed Stanley Johnson though. I think. Um, I don't know what's happening with Kendrick Nunn either. He didn't step on the floor all season.
that was
Yeah,
weird.
he
Yeah,
was just sitting there in
He,
business casual the whole season
literally,
on the bench.
I have no idea what his problem was, but I think. I mean, hopefully we do better
hmm
than we did last season.
Summer
Um,
league team is looking good. You have a
Summer
lot of
league, yeah, summer league team looking
Scottie
nice.
Pippen Jr.
Yep, Sharif. We had Mac, and then Warriors wanted to take him from us. So it's just like, come on, bro. Like Lakers just don't know what they're doing, bro. Put me in the front office.
Hey, actually though, I think he went to the Bulls for a little bit. Because I remember I was like, yo,
Yeah,
what the heck?
that was
It
that was
really
when
random.
y'all had them COVID troubles. He signed a
Yeah.
10-day. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I was
it
like,
was real surprising.
how are the Bulls Chicago? How is Chicago signing him, and we are not? We need him more than Chicago needs him.
A lot of questionable front office like decisions from a lot of teams, and it's like some petty stuff too. Like I remember, it's kind of off topic from the Lakers, but I'm gonna just make it real quick. The only reason Luka didn't get drafted third was because Vlade Divac didn't like his dad. So you could just imagine the turnaround that he could have gave potentially for the Kings with him and De'Aaron Fox as a backcourt.
Literally,
So like,
yeah.
bro.
and the Kings, they're a whole nother top. They're a whole nother level of stupid. All right, let's make that be known. We all know this, but it's just a lot of questionable things that a lot of teams do. I'm just like, I could have did better, and I don't even know.
Yeah, bro. It's just like, it's just crazy.
But being a Lakers fan, you have seen many quote unquote GOATs on your team. I mean, Magic Johnson, Kobe, LeBron,
Kareem.
Wilt. I mean, Tyler with Michael, Vaughn with Bill Russell, Larry Bird.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, as our ending topic, who is your GOAT? Who is in your mind the greatest of all time?
I mean, I'll go first because off rip, personally, my GOAT is Kobe, but Jordan is like the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just personal though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, because I look at it as in like the greatest player gotta be LeBron. I mean, that man crawled out of the Earth's core and was made to play basketball.
That's Mother Earth's son.
He shouldn't be able to do the things he does for how big that man is.
Not right. He's a freak of nature. Like literally.
Like, because I used to work at the Nugget Stadium, and I've seen that man. I remember he had a winter coat on. He was walking through that tunnel. I thought I saw Bigfoot. No cap. That man is wide. He's like moving. I have like a pan of mac and cheese, and I'm about to drop that shit on the floor because I'm like shocked. Because like on the TV, none of these players look that big because they're all like the same height.
Right.
When you go to
right.
when you go to a game or you get up to them, you realize like, oh my god, these people are huge. But for me, Jordan's the GOAT. Because if we're just looking as in the NBA, I mean, he has 2 3-peats. I mean, like he went against the Pistons, like got pretty roughed up, and then came back jacked. Like he had that mentality, He had that work effort.
He
He
had
had
that
that.
dog in him.
Yeah, Jordan got that
They got
dog.
that dog in them.
He had that dog in him. I get what you're saying though. Like in terms of like I guess athletes, like you could say LeBron is one of the greatest athletes, to ever just, play a sport.
100%.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But basketball, and I also think like not to say LeBron's not, but just like watching all this and like hearing stories and stuff, like Michael Jordan was and still currently is and probably will forever be the most one of the most influential sports figures to ever be, you
Exists.
know?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you got LeBron, starting his own school, doing all this stuff, investing, yada yada. But Jordan, it was like the clout that he had in the 90s. Imagine if we saw a Jordan now,
Oh
like
yeah,
with social media and like
Oh, for sure. He would be
going viral and
everywhere.
stuff. Yeah. So it's like I give Jordan that GOAT title just because of, you know, that stuff as well. But yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense as far as like what you're saying because you got players today like to even just like hype prospects that get millions of like millions of fans like off the rip before they even get drafted. Like some of them, like Zion, I remember he was inching toward the millions. Ja Morant the same. But like saying what you're saying, like to be as famous as you were in the '90s with like with no social media to like where everyone knows who you are, and like obviously you got just at the NBA, Magic and Bird like they kind of helped put the NBA on the map, but Jordan just took that to a whole nother level. So as far
Oh
as his
yeah.
greatness, I will say Jordan. But like y'all said about players, like I will say like LeBron's probably one of the greatest athletes for sure. To be 6'9", like he's like what 70, and to run is like or just to move like you're like half that size, and to just fly like you a featherweight is crazy to me. Like,
Oh yeah.
Especially at
and
like
there's a lot,
37, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
and he's still jumping out the gym,
yeah.
and like he's in my eyes, I feel like he's had like such a long prime too, because he never
Look.
had a major injury. God forbid he ever has one, but like it's just crazy to see. Like, there's a lot of arguments you could put. Like, some people will try to bring up like LeBron up until like a couple seasons ago, he never knew what it was like to lose in the first round. He always took his team to the finals,
Mhm.
and like there's always like different factors that go into play because a lot of people like to say now they crack down on like certain things being fouls, and it's just like every time this GOAT debate happens, like I always find it like to be a hard topic because like there's always different things that circumstances that happen, but
Right. And like eras too. Like,
Eras for
put
sure.
exactly,
this player in this era or put that player in this era. It's just kind of like
exactly,
you can't really
And
do that. But
and like the ring talk always gets brought up, but like let's be honest. If
I
rings
don't
were
like
so
that.
important, Bill Russell, right, Vaughn? Bill Russell is your go, huh, Vaughn? 11
You mean the
rings.
GOAT? The GOAT Bill Russell? 11 rings? No one could win like him?
Exactly,
Most
like
teams,
he's the
7 rings.
greatest of all time. Like if that in that case, like if that's the only thing we took into consideration, oh yeah, it's Bill Russell off the top. But there's things that Jordan did that Bill Russell didn't do, like just like things he could do on the court and what he's done. Like there's different like there's just a lot of different like things that you take into consideration when you're talking about who's the greatest player ever. So
Yeah, I mean, like, spoiler alert, I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT too. Uh, but it's not just like him as a player. Like, okay, he was obviously a crazy player. Led the scoring in the league for 10 years, even 3 seasons leading steals. Like, he was the best two-way player. But, like, not just that. Outside basketball, like, you see the number 23, and you immediately know what that is. Like,
he becomes
the
synonymous
number,
with that number too.
yeah, like, that is basketball right there. When you think Michael Jordan, you think basketball. Like, you can't escape him. Jordan brand.
Yeah.
It's like a lifestyle now. Like
Oh
there's
yeah.
so much like influence and branching out into like other things. Like I don't know. Like he's more into legendary status, if that makes sense. Like anyone who doesn't know basketball will know Michael Jordan. So I think there's
For
just a
Like
sure.
a
large
casual.
Yeah, yeah.
I think branding wise, Kobe is like the closest to Jordan. I mean, like
Yeah.
everyone in the world, every time you shoot a basketball, what do you say? Kobe.
Kobe.
Like
Right.
Kobe.
every.
Yeah.
So like I
Even
thought,
even like kids shooting in the trash can, like in class.
Yeah.
Like they don't have
That's
to
what I
ever
said.
touch a basketball in their life, but it's Kobe. They don't say Jordan, they don't say Curry, they don't say Braun. It's Kobe.
You even had the Undertaker saying that when he was throwing away trash in the interview that he had. He even said that. You had the Undertaker saying that, bro. So you could definitely argue that Kobe is definitely up there, like the Mount Rushmore thing. That could be for another time if y'all want, but he's up there for sure. Like
yeah,
he's definitely solidified in this. So
I
that's what I feel like Kobe is.
yeah, Kobe is like it's hard because like when you think GOAT, it's usually Jordan and James, and some like Kobe is always brought up during the conversation. But
Right.
like
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
even be brought up is insane for him because if you think about it, he is like the combination. He's like in the middle when the NBA was like starting to get away.
Transitioning.
Yeah, he
Mm.
brought it back from the grave. I mean, 24 is just as recognizable as 23. The fro, like the stuff he was doing with Shaq, like he put the Lakers back into being like America's team. Because for the longest time, the Bulls was America's team.
yeah,
Like,
they were winning.
Yeah.
yeah, people were wearing Bull jerseys in like every country, every continent. But then Kobe stepped onto the scene and he brought the Lakers back into being like the team.
I
And I
think
think
he's
it also
literally.
tripped people out
Yeah,
too, because his play style, he based it off of Jordan. So it was just like people were just geeking about that. Um, just the comparisons and similarities between both of their games as well.
and he's also like we were saying how Jordan is synonymous with the number 23. Like, at least with me, I'm sure a lot of people, like maybe millions, like when you think Lakers, the first player that pops up, Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
You think Magic and all of that too, but Kobe's like the very first player that could come to mind. So to even be like synonymous with an organization like that, I feel like even being like that, just kind of solidifies you as a player to be like that first thing to come up. I guess I don't know the right word, but I feel like if y'all know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of arguments that people could do for like different goats. There's probably people who think like maybe Kareem could be the goat, winning it like as far as basketball in general. He's won at every level of the sport,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a lot of things that. So like I always felt like that conversation's been hard, but like people usually boil it down to Jordan or LeBron, which is crazy to me. So it's
Yeah.
always entertaining though. At the same
Only
time,
like old heads are saying Kareem's the goat. But I see
yeah,
your
you're
point.
not
I
lying
know
though.
what you're
I ain't
saying.
gonna lie.
I feel like we might be the first ever GOAT discussion that didn't end up with calling someone stupid or screaming because I feel like nowadays you say the wrong thing about a player and you're getting flamed.
Right.
Yep.
Like I think it was like JJ Redick didn't like think the Warriors were gonna make it to the finals and everyone called him a Curry hater. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
JJ Redick is one of the first like big 3-point shooters. You think he's gonna hate Steph Curry?
Nah, that's facts though.
It'd just be funny how a lot of people on the internet are like saying that these players are idiots. I'm like, bro, they studied this game their whole life mostly. Like, how are you gonna tell? Like, it's kind of like when people were saying like, I mean, not as far as his play, but just like as a team, everybody's saying that Russ was a terrible teammate. You had people like Ennis Cantor, KD, um, just literally, I think Kendrick Perkins. Literally, everybody was giving nothing but praise to this man. How he'll have your back as a teammate. Steven Adams, and then you got people who are like, oh, he's a locker room cancer. Who? How do you know? You never played with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me. I never understood that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. NBA Twitter is insane.
It's very
Oh my.
toxic.
But I think that's gonna do it for this week's episode. Next week, we're gonna talk more about what happened in the last season before we get into more off-season topics. Hopefully, KD doesn't get traded as soon as I upload this because that would suck. But yeah, until then, thank you for listening to the Spin the Rock podcast. Real quick before the podcast really ends, I just want to let you know where to find the Spin the Rock podcast. We are on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. As of right now, we are only in audio, but we will do video eventually. You can also find us on Twitter at Spin the Rock, where you can get all of our episode updates. All the links will be in the description. Thank you for listening, and see you again next week.